How is everyone doing? Hopefully well. Hopefully well. Who's ready for the semifinals? Now I have to warn you, the finals I think are going to be in like a month. And the reason they're going to be in a month is because I'm working on some automation for the finals, which should be pretty awesome. I'll step over some of the stuff we have to do, um, which is unfortunately more than I was hoping. But this is good fun. This is good fun. We'll do some of it on stream too, just for you all. What I found out is I think part of the problem is I can't use any of the methods that are out there because any of the methods that are out there are things people train their AIs on. So, so yeah. All right, we're just going to give people a little bit of time to filter in. I am ready for the most part. Oh. You know what we can do? ChatGPT's ready. Oh, Code Whisperer is not ready. Let me get it ready. Let's see. Let's see. Okay. Code Whisperer is ready. Copilot's ready. Cody is ready. We're all ready. We're all ready. All right. So, one of the things we're doing for the final is getting a little automation. I think in the end, the whole thing should be automated, but, you know, we're rolling with the punches. We wanted to do something this year, and so we're doing the best that we can this year. We'll work on it over the next coming year. We'll add a few things and test a few things and be working on it. So, one of the things that we were going to do this year that kind of failed pretty spectacularly was the advent of code section. And what happened was the advent of code section was so heavily used that the AIs were literally here, let me show you. The AIs were literally not only finding it, but they were giving me the data set. And then even worse, I believe it was Code Whisperer. Code Whisperer Oh wait, I clicked on the wrong thing. Code Whisperer actually gave me the second part of the problem, um, without me even asking it. So basically, I asked it the this part right here, and it went through and solved it, and then it gave me the second part itself. Like it was so heavily trained on this data that that was what was basically going to happen. Period. So there was a lot of problems with using this data. It goes to the same as this right here. So you can look at this. This is the oh, the MBPP. What is it? The basic problems. What is that called? I forget what it's. Mostly basic Python program problem. uh, mostly basic. Every once in a while, there's a hard one. Star chat instead of star coder. Oh, was this a while ago? I couldn't find star chat. So chat dot hugging face. What was it? Hugging chat. I went here and okay. So last time I was here, it wouldn't let me change the model because I knew that you could do it here to like the oh yeah, see it doesn't allow me to go to the star coder model. I still can't select the star coder model. I can set the llama model or the ChatGPT one. There used to be, I used to be able to here select a star coder chat that actually worked really well, but I haven't been able to access it anymore. But I mean, I could just do it here if you're saying just do it in this chat then instead of the other one. I could do that for sure. Are you thinking I should? This is okay. Maybe I was at the wrong place. Maybe I was at the wrong place. Let's give it a try. Let's give it a try. Okay. So, for our grand finale that will happen in a month or so. Yeah, I did try to look for it. I feel bad if I didn't give somebody a proper representation. I'm actually not super biased in any real way. I like a good underdog story, so I think like yeah, maybe I root for Cody just because it's a good underdog story, but yeah, I would like to give everybody a fair shot. So we'll let them come back. We'll let them come back just a little bit. Because Starcoder gave us the best hallucination. So one of my problems is I can't use this mostly basic Python program because people train towards it. If you look at the data set, basically, not only does the entire data set have a prompt and basically a bunch of asserts to run to test the code that was generated, they also have what code should be generated for all of these. Basically, all of these are a question, the code that should be generated, and test to test whatever code was generated. So I think we're gonna have to actually generate our own. A lot of the times, like if you look at Google's stuff, I forget where it was. Google will actually state which ones they trained off of and which ones they used for testing. A lot of the scientific documents, if you read them, will also say, "Oh, we used index, 602 to 771 to train, and then this set to test. So I think this is partially where we need to get going. I have to look over licensing. If I do the work to make one of these, I want it to be open source in the fact that people can use it to test their things, but I want to make it licensely, like the license should disable people to use it to train. I don't want it to be used to train, because that's not its desired goal. Not that I have anything against people using my code to train. I honestly don't. I want to make something that's good for testing. I guess if that makes sense. I don't know if that makes sense. Yeah. All right. So in that last time we tried to use Advent of Code, it turned out to be a massive failure. And so I have designed my own Advent of Code. Now, next year, I'm going to actually have some rewards. This is going to be in my YouTube video for people that submit Advent of Machine Learnings that get accepted. We're going to have some rewards for that because I think that will be a fun way to do it. But basically, for today, I've created my own Advent of Machine Learning. It's kind of written in the Advent of Code style. It's not designed to be difficult. So the first part, my 8-year-old daughter could do. Just not like programming. She didn't program it. Just like she could go through the example data and output the right stuff with if you talked her through it. So it's not a difficult task, is all I'm saying. So we'll go over these, but there's 3 parts. The third part I've been told is confusing. I reworded it. We'll see if we get to the third part. It wasn't meant to be super confusing, but we'll see if we get to the third part. So basically, yeah, this is what we're going to try to do to trip up our AIs today. And see which ones. All right. So we have this auto AOML. You know what? I really should have. Let's take this. We're gonna copy and paste this because what we need is our AutoML. I didn't think about this. Should have done this before today. AOML. So in here, we'll have our C#, Go, JavaScript. We're going to do JavaScript and Python, and if they're nailing those, we'll hit like Rust or Go. Or maybe we'll hit Java. We'll just remove Swift. It's not an option. I don't have enough time. There we go. And then in each one of these, we have the contestants. Now, we did have some people tap out. Tab 9 was one of them. So we don't need those anymore. Now, I think we're going to give StarCoder another chance. Means we only eliminated one person. Booger. I was looking forward to a condensed list. Cody was kind of bottom of the barrel. ChatGPT was definitely at the top. Code Whisperer was also at the bottom of the barrel. Will it get more than 1 star? That's the question. All right. Let me get rid of these tab 9s and see. Now, if you are from any of these companies and would like to help, you're more than welcome to. Like I said, I need to work out the license. I don't want my stuff being used to train. This is going under the Apache 2, so people can use it. I don't have the code that goes with it. I purposely haven't put the code with it because of that. But I do want to keep it open source. I want people to be able to use it. The whole point is for things not to be trained off of this data. So I'll do what I need to do. Again, not because I don't want people to see it. I do want people to see it. I just am trying to keep it pure if I can. That being said, each year we're going to have new stuff because I don't trust that people don't train off of it, even if the license isn't appropriate for it. But yeah. Anyways, let's get into the games. All right, who should go first on this challenge? We'll start with one language and we'll flip. Yeah. All right. Let's do JavaScript. You know it. Let's do JavaScript. Let's give StarCoder. StarCoder has one shot. StarCoder has one shot. All right. So what we did last time is we had the results open in one, and then we had a clean open in the other, because one thing we did find is some of, I'm going to say the better ones, actually use the code that you, and so it would end up copying code, because it's like, oh, you already did this. So let me disable all of the, these are all disabled. Beautiful. And then we got to disable the AWS. Pause auto. All right. So what we're going to do is we're going to actually open this folder. This is still in the advent of code, but AutoML, and we're doing JavaScript, and we're giving StarCoder a shot. All right. Now I am going to give it an input file, but I'm just giving it the demo test. I have a tool that I've been working on to actually generate a arduously long one, but that's okay. We'll be okay with just the demo. If it gets through the demo test, that should be good enough at this point. TXT, there we go. And let's we have our StarCoder up here. Okay, cool. And let's go over here and actually open up the results. So the results will help us keep track, and yeah, shouldn't have any conflicts. All right, so part one, I'm gonna read each one of these through just for like a final proofreading with you all, just to make sure that they're clear, that they don't have any contradictory things that a human would just look over. All right, you are a new cab driver in New York City. The only problem is that you have never driven in New York City before. It's quite a long story how you got into this position, but needless to say, you have to make it work. I did this because classically, advent of code sets the stage, sets it with a story, gives you some sort of thing to go with, and I wanted to see the ability of the AIs to actually get the information that they need. That was the idea. It turns out that last week, one of the veterans in the industry retired and left you a message. Driving a taxi cab was easy. You find out that your taxi cab actually drives itself. All you have to do is translate the destination for your taxi cab. Because it's New York City, the directions are given. I don't know why, because it's New York City, but that's I couldn't find a better way of saying that. The directions are given to you in the form of a list of street names. Each item in the list is on a new line. The destination address, the place you are trying to get your cab to drive to, is the very first word in the list. We will refer to this as the destination from now on. For each letter in the destination, all you will have to do is find the next street in the remaining list that starts with that letter and count the number of streets. Let me restart this. For each letter in the destination, all you have to do is find the next street in the remaining list that starts with that letter and count the number of street names you had to pass over to get to it. Deciding if you should turn right or left on the street is as simple as calculating the numerical value of the current character you are using from the destination and the character that comes directly after it. If the current character is larger, then turn left. If the subsequent character is larger, then turn right. All right. So this is fair. It's supposed to be fairly simple. Basically, this is your destination address. These are all of the street names. So the first character is D, so we look till we get a D. So this is 1, 2, 3. We skipped 3 streets. You'll notice this one's not counted. It's not the 4th street because I was very explicit in stating it was how many streets to skip. I'm trying to keep it a little bit nuanced, but something that a human wouldn't have a problem in discerning. Okay. Sadly, your self-driving car was designed before YAML and takes an unstructured list of directions. So your application needs an output. To output a sequential order of steps, each step should be on a new line. Each line should start with the number of streets to pass and a character of either R for right or left, L for left, and D for when you reach your destination. When you come to the last character in the address, your destination will be on the corner of the next street that starts with the last character. That's it. Okay, so does that sound okay? It's not the best English. I was trying to be clear. Next year, when I get the licensing worked out a little bit better, these will be posted ahead of time, obviously, so we can all work on them as a community. It's not like Advent of Code. They don't need to be secret because they only have to be secret from AIs. There won't be a whole lot of time ahead of time because, like I said, I don't trust that people don't train on stuff. But we'll have a good week or two of community time to work over them. Let's see StarCoder, unless if there's any updates. Are you guys ready? Also, I didn't know how hard this was. To come up with something that was broken down into parts, let's have a real talk on this. I have a lot of respect for the people that do Advent of Code. Coming up with something that purposefully makes you change your base code, like where you're purposely guiding them into doing it one way and then they have to change it going forward, it was difficult. I appreciate it. Advent of Code people, I want to work with you. This was awesome. Actually, it was a really good learning experience. Let's try StarCoder. All right, we have our instructions. And we are doing it in JavaScript. So let's make sure we ask in JavaScript. You please solve this in JavaScript. Here we go. So it hasn't started by writing me a love story. So I feel like this is a great improvement. It's pretty short. Let's copy and paste the code and go over it. I feel like everybody should get this code fairly straight away. All right. So split the lines. Did it read? Okay, so it just did an input here. Maybe I didn't specify that it was going to be a file. That's fine. So we'll give this one. I guess I really don't care. I don't think I explicitly said that it was going to be a file, so we can we'll just input it in here. Split them by lines. Good. Extract the destination. So I got that the destination was the first one on the line. Perfect. Destination is destination. Remove the leading, trailing white spaces. Okay, so it's just going to do that for all of them. That's actually good. Good. Loop through the letters in the destination string. So it's taking the destination, it's looping through them. I don't know JavaScript really well, so I assume that this is pretty good. Grab the current character. This is what I wouldn't know. It's getting the next character. So we have a current character and a next character. This looks a little funny. Okay. Oh, it's just a comma. Okay. Got it. So current character and next character. It's doing 2 assignments in one line. I don't know. All right. So this is good because it needs to decide whether it's turning right or left, and calculate the index of the next matching street name. All right. So I think we have a problem here. I think we might have run out. No, I think it ended it. It ended it right here. It did this curly brace. Right? It ended it. Yeah, see, it did this ending curly brace. If it was where it like cut off mid-sentence, I would give you that. Where are the... Oh, here we go. All right, let's see. This. Should I have it regenerate? See if it... I'm going to leave the temperature the same because we don't want to go off of what they think is best. Higher values, sample more low probability tokens. I don't want low probability tokens. All right, let's try regenerating that. So I think there's one problem here, and basically it's not keeping its position in the array. So basically it's starting from the beginning. This will be wrong. So basically, as you go down, you're supposed to... Okay, so D was here. So now you don't start looking for A here. You start looking for A after Daisy. So it was going to be wrong anyways. It got much different. So let's make a different file. We're just gonna run this over here really quickly. Maybe we keep this one. This looks... All right. I believe that I was clear on this. I believe that I was clear that it was going to be single letters. Did I not state that they were going to be single words for this first one? Because I don't tell you how to handle spaces. Maybe I wasn't clear. All right. Because the directions are giving the list of street names. Each item in the list is on a new line. The destination address, the place you are trying to get your crab to, is the first word in the list. We will refer to this as the for each letter in the destination. Maybe I didn't. Okay. Maybe I didn't. So I think it wrote a lot more code for sure. All right, so it has a calculate route. Let's just walk through this because it has a few things like this destination that it just has here, but I don't see a list. I guess, well, let's keep going through it. So for each of the destination letters, it's getting the current letter, the next street index, which is going through this with the current letter. So let's see what's going on through here. The next street index is getting next street index, which is setting to null. And then it's saying the start index, which is starting at 0. The destination letters, loop through the main letters in the destination string. Check if the current letter... Wait, where is... This isn't... These are the destination letters. It's just using this string. I think it did worse. So it's just looping over this, which it's looping over here. See, this is 4-let destination letters, and this is 4-let destination letters. Shadow Dragon, what's up? No, we're just doing Advent of Code. It's going to be a little bit shorter because we're just doing this one section. Hopefully about 2 hours long. Yeah, we had an epic Nerf gun battle yesterday. We've eaten so many donuts that I couldn't eat any more donuts. She's playing a new Xbox game, so we're all happy. All right, so this is categorically worse than this. This was at least, this had its problems. I'm going to count this as a failure. We can actually get this code to being runnable. I could update the 1 second. I think it's missing. Can I get this code to be runnable? 1 second. It's missing a couple like this open and close parentheses here. All right, so we're there's those matching to. Here's these matching to. We have a new one out here that, oh, maybe they backticked it instead of 1 second. Maybe it just needed that. No. Okay, look, I did say to get rid of less. It says higher value sample more low probability tokens. Okay, I will put it back up to the low. It was at 0.95. I'm sorry. Maybe low probability tokens are where it's at. That's my bad. My bad. It's back on this single destination, which represents that it loops through each character in the destination string, looking for the nearest match on the list of available street names. Maybe it actually got street names. We'll do it again. We'll do it again. I think I gave it higher quality. At least it's compiling at this point. But again, we have this destination. This isn't right. So it's going over for the destination, and it's getting the first and the second character, which now it named char 1, char 2, which should be negative points. And then it's looping over the destination address again. Which is just a single, and it's not splitting it like into lines. Like, it could be doing that, but it's not doing that. So if it split this into lines, and like the first one was the best one. The first one was splitting it into lines, taking the first line. This was almost correct. It had this bug where it didn't keep its index in the list. But I want to count this as a fail. Like, we don't even have to run these. We can run this. Let's run it. I think what is it? npm build dev. Yeah, I don't know why it's called dev. We can run it. It's not gonna work. Let me give it an actual input. Well, we can't run the main because main is busted. Where is its destination? So we have to just do new lines in here like this. Other street. Bob's Lane. All right. Let's change this to run other JS. All right, and now we're going to get into the JavaScript and star coder. I don't know why I did that. That's just habit. That's just habit. Okay, so we can do node run dev. So it's not compilable. Wait. Let's do node. It said that I couldn't find dev. What? Well, we'll just run this. Whatever. I think I screwed up that. There we go. Destination letters is not defined. What? I thought it was. Yeah. Wait, where is it complaining? 36. Get next street index. Oh. 36. Oh, destination letters is defined here. It's in this function. It's absolutely not defined here. I thought it was. Oh, yeah. Good catch. Well, I mean, it's a compiler, so I guess maybe not good catch, but like, you know, you get the idea. Yeah. I tried to get it to work, okay? None of these were particularly impressive. Actually, the first one was probably the best, except that it started this again. It started. Anyways, okay, let's move on. Let's try somebody else. Let's see if it does a little bit better over here. So let's go ahead and grab our starting text, our starting bit of enjoyment here. Let's see how ChatGPT does this. Can you please write this in JavaScript? That's fantastic, Russell. That's fantastic. All right. We have ChatGPT. I think it was our far favorite so far. So far from my polling, it has been the far favorite, even with derivatives of ChatGPT. Like Copilot, I feel like should get the same ability, but so far, ChatGPT seems to be better than. All right. Now, this is fine. I didn't give the example, and I didn't say that they were single things, which is fine. I don't know how they're going to handle spaces because I didn't give any instructions for it. I'm going to give them a little leeway. I don't want to change the prompt text after it started, though, because Okay, so find next street is getting called. Here's getting the street list. Let's generate directions. Beautiful. So generate directions is really where we start. I don't know what the shift function is. What is this? No definition for shift. That's fine. Let's just kind of run their code. Wait. Is it not node run? Oh, it's npm. npm. I don't know why I was saying node. My goodness. Okay, I'm in the right place. So it just printed out the AIs are here. Oh, I didn't save. I didn't save the file. I'm sorry. I was going to say that's what I had written there. All right, so it gave us something. There should have been a number with the destination, and this looks suspicious, having all these zeros here. Now, it gave its own input, these right here, but I actually have an example that we're going to test with. I have something I'm working on to actually generate these, because when I release the video, I'm actually going to hopefully release this problem for people to solve themselves, and it will generate them their own unique data, which I thought would be fun. Get some community involvement. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our demo here, and we're going to put that in here. Man, we're going to have to quote all of this. Can we? No. Okay. I'll just do it really quickly. Actually, I could have taken what they generated and shoot. I could have done this a little bit better, because I could have figured out what they had done. Basically, what I think they did is they generated one. I'm fairly positive. They generated one that fell off the end. So basically, it fell off the end, and then that's why I put 0, 0, 0, 0, because there was nothing left. That would be my assumption. We should know what this is. 4L, 2R, 2R, D. Let's wait. That sounds about right. No, it's 3L, 1R, 1D. Uh-oh. I think it's doing the same thing. Maybe we need to readjust the wording, because I think that what they're doing is they're starting from here every single time. So they're starting from the 0 index for each loop. So current letter, next letter in the destination index. This all looks solid. Remaining streets, find next street, street, current letter. So yeah, this is the problem right here. And I think this is tripping everyone up. So basically, if you go to find next street, all right, wait. Streets, find index. Yeah, so this is what they're doing that's tripping them up. Is they're starting at the beginning. And maybe my wording wasn't clear. Let's go look at it. Because my idea was that you were walking through this list. You were going here, then here, then here. You skip this street, go here. That might not have been clear. Maybe it's not clear. Let's go back and make sure, because this is the interesting thing is StarCoder got it the first time, and then when we upped the quality, it failed to get it. Was it hallucinating the first time? Probably. But a list of streets. Each item in the list is on a new line. The destination address, the place you were trying to get your cab to drive to, is the very first word on the list. It nailed that. It nailed that. That's for sure. Wait, I don't know what shift is. Streets.shift. What is this? What is this? One second. I gotta. You think it's out by 1? Oh, then A and N should be the same. Oh. Okay, so it is nailing this. The shift is correct. I've never used shift, but this is just popping the first one off. According to ChatGPT. Maybe I should look it up in Google. All right, maybe let's dig into it, because maybe you're right. Find next street. Streets to pass is the remaining streets length minus the remaining streets dot length. Oh, no, Russell, look at this. It's taking the total length of the array and subtracting the number of streets to skip. It should just be the streets to skip. This is screwy function here. Because if you had 1,000 in the list, like if I added to the end, it shouldn't actually add more, but this will up all of the numbers. If you like, this is 422, we'll make it 533. Watch this with another. Never mind. I completely I completely misread this. My bad. Let me try rereading it again. Maybe you're right, it's an off by 1. Find next street. It takes the street and the streets and the letters. So it's taking the index. This street doesn't have it anymore. Is it counting the one it turns on? Is that the off by 1? Possibly. It's passing in the current letter. Now, my question is, all right, it's calling find index. Oh, it's resetting. It's okay. So this is the piece I was missing here. It's returning the new slice of its index. So it is keeping track of where it is. That's cool. So it's taking the index of this and returning a subslice of it, which then I'm sure that it's remaining streets. And then it's resetting streets to remaining streets. Okay, cool. No. It got me, but it's... Now, it's taking the length of the new array that was returned. Okay, this makes more sense. So it's taking the street's length, the current, and then it's seeing how many was removed. That's what it's doing. Okay. But it isn't off by 1, because here they have to add 1, because they have to remove the street that we turned on. But I specifically asked, and this is something we covered, I specifically said that I want the number of streets to skip. Right, Russell? And we thought, so I think this did very well. I think it did very well. Now, the question of whether this is good JavaScript or not. I found the JavaScript to be kind of confusing for the simple task that it was. But I'm not a JavaScript expert, so I'm going to leave it as that. We're going to give it 4.5 stars. Are we allowed to do half stars? What do you guys think? Vote right now. How many stars does this get? And then we'll move to part 2. I just need to write down its results. Sorry it took me so long. Yeah, I was going to say, like, I think I would have said 5 if it was one of the things that I was vague on. You know, like, I didn't specify, and I meant to, and I must have deleted it at some point. I must have, that each one of these was 1. It's not a big deal that they had more. Um, I just got it actually. I haven't had enough coffee. I was kind of up late last night. Um, but it's off by one error. I got it. Okay, but I was specific in the fact that it was the number of streets to skip. We covered that to validate that was being specific, that I didn't want. Yeah, so I think that we were clear on that. I'm a little bummed. I spent like 2 hours writing up stuff for Cody, and then I never heard anything. I like compiled a bunch of data because like they were like, "Hey, why didn't we do better?" And so then I just sent them like a whole bunch of things, and like in a really nice way, like professional way. Haven't heard a thing. If you're from Cody, let's talk. All right. I forget how we were exactly formatting these. Let's do this. Yeah, there we go. All right. Total 4x5. I found the JavaScript a little confusing to follow. That might be my JavaScript. The code is checked in so people can actually check it out if they want. All right, that might be my JavaScript skills. Had an off by one error, but other than that, nailed it. Yeah, I think honestly I would say 4.5, but I don't think we're doing the points, so it has to be it. It wasn't perfect. All right, let's move on. Who is next? Who is next? Let's open that folder. Should we do Cody? Let's see if Cody's improved. Now, do we do it in the code or do we ask Cody over here? I think we'll ask over here first, and then we'll do it in the code if that didn't work out so well. All right. Let's go back to the question. Can you write it in JavaScript, please? All right. For all of you joining, these are the AI games. It's going to be a once annual thing. Each year they're going to get better. We have learned a lot on testing AIs as we have done it, which we are documenting. Even this is a evolution of what we've done. Basically, you can't test on public code because they've trained the crap out of it. Okay, this is. Oh, okay. So they gave this. That's fine. I had said that they were a part of the same list, so I'm tempted to take 1 point off unless if the thing nails it. So let's try their output. Let's try it. It's a single function. I kind of like it. It was supposed to be a simple thing that ChatGPT made really complicated on me. 1 second. Let me find the second part. I don't know why it split these up, but that's okay. That's okay. It just got a little bit bleaker. Not gonna lie, it just got a little bleaker. Cody's a little bit of a doomer. Okay, that's okay. It's okay, Cody. We know you came. We know what country you came from. All right. Uh-oh, we have some compilation errors. Never fear, we'll fix this. This is easy. Wait. Oh. Oh, Cody. What line was that? 9. Oh, right here. Let's make this a little smaller. Let's see what's going on here. All right, street index is 0. So streets is generate directions. Streets is the second one here, which is a list. All right. Okay, I'm going to just say that this was a little hiccup because really this just needs deleted. The street index is 0, which is the right thing. Like they're trying, I just think that the 0 shouldn't be there, right? Should we give it credit and delete this? Oh, it's getting the string and then getting the index of the string. It's trying to get the oh, I see what it's doing. I see. But doesn't this have to be a variable itself because it has to loop over that? Let's try reading it and seeing. I see what it's trying to do. So it's trying to get the first character of the word. Okay. Obviously, this doesn't work. Obviously, this is not a JavaScript thing. I don't know. One second. Let's go look at one that actually worked. Oh, GPT did this. I don't know how to get the characters out of a string in JavaScript. Part of the fun. Wait. Where's ChatGPT? Here we go. All right. Let's see. So that's how they do it. That's how ChatGPT is doing it. Why doesn't this work? Let me read the error better. Cannot read properties of undefined. Reading 0. I don't know what that means. If it was in English, it would be easier. Street index is 0 for the first loop. Wait. It doesn't say that this is on the first loop. Wait, while this does not equal a character? Am I reading that wrong? Is this going to loop until this doesn't equal a character? Or, 1 second. What is it doing here? What is this skip count? So if this equals a character, it's going to break out immediately anyways. What does it? I'm not sure what this is doing. Cannot read properties of undefined. We have to dry run this code. But it won't because so Russell, it won't do that because this says while this doesn't equal a character. So the very first one should equal a character and it should stop whiling, right? Am I like I don't write JavaScript ever. Am I misinformed on that? Because as I read this is saying while this statement is true, and this statement should never be true. This should always start with a character. Char is a variable? Oh! I thought it was a type. Ah! Thank you. Thank you. It's like a different color blue. Yeah, I think what is that? I think I failed. I believe I deserve one of those. Thank you, Russell. Okay, okay. So we're taking the destination at the first one in the destination. And that is the char that we're looking for. And we're going to loop over these while okay, this now is making more sense. We're going to loop over that and we're going to and you're right. It hits the end of the thing. I bet you it just hits the end of the thing. So you know what we need to do? We need to give it a real data set that will work. Let's give it a real data set. Actually the real data set is over here. I posted it in here. Let's give it the real data set that should have an ending. I will have to update it because it cheated, but, you know, it's okay. We'll remove this one. All right. So let's run that. Because I'm kind of thinking, like, you're right that it's running over. That shouldn't run over, though. That should have a clean ending. All right, for those of you just joining, we are testing AIs and how good they are at writing code, how clean and legible it is, and does it do the job. That's what we're testing right now. Now, we're testing in all sorts of languages. I'm not a JavaScript expert. All right, so we're still getting this error, which is that the cannot read properties of undefined reading 0. Yes, I agree that we need to... But this should have worked. If it was overflowing, I should have fixed the overflow because I gave it a real data set that will actually finish, right? Now, I think this will have the same problem because this is starting over. And oh, it does keep a street index. Okay, never mind. Street index. So this is the first street. Oh, dude, we are incrementing the street index each time that we go through this with the skip count. Oh, that's right, because we're integrating down the list. Oh, not an uppercase. That is something GPT did. GPT did throw this to upper. It did to upper on everything. Should we throw to upper on this and see if this fixes everything? I'm just going to do it quickly on the two things. This means that char should be an upper. This should be an upper. This will be a point if this even works. Aha! Aha! Good call. Good call. I wasn't even looking at that. Okay. So, it's not perfectly correct. Let's look at what it's supposed to be. I believe it has an off by 1. As it be 311. Interesting. 322. I think it's... Why does it not have the first one? I removed it because it has the destination up here. So it's getting 3 correct. That's weird because it skips 1, 2, 3, and then... Oh, it's not removing Daisy from the list that it turns on. That's why. That's my guess. Let's read through it. This is no longer Cody's code. You're right. We pasted to upper. Should we not do that? I wanted to see how close it was, which was easier if I ran it. Let's remove these because we are committing this code. This is what they generated, and I think we should keep that clean, 100%. So this is what Cody. So it missed the 2 upper. I'm fine with I did the inputs. That's fine. No. I think what's committed should be there. I wanted to see it run because it was a little bit. Okay, so it has an overflow that's not checking. It probably should check the overflow. It also didn't do the 2 upper. Let's document that. All right. I want to say like a 2. It's a 1 or a 2. It's a 1 or a 2. It used very confusing. Honestly, I was complaining about ChatGPT being a little bit confusing, but I think ChatGPT was way less confusing than this. It had the same off by 1. Okay, so yeah. Failed to call to upper, causing character matching to fail, causing the code not to run. It also was confusing to read, more so. I won't say more so than others, but more so than others. Read and follow. Inevitably had the same off by 1. Inevitably had an off by 1 because it failed to remove the street they turned on. I think that was the root cause. Let's validate that. So basically, when it matches the character, it keeps going until it matches the character. But when it matches the character, it doesn't. When it matches, when it should increment the skip count, not the skip count, the street index by 1, and not the skip count. That's what it failed to do. This is the same thing that ChatGPT failed. Now, what do you guys think is the fair score? If it called to upper and it didn't do this, it would have worked. Also decided to pull. That's a good thing because I did stipulate that. Also decided to pull destination into its own variable. And that was not part of the requirements. So, do you think 2 out of 5 is fair? Or do we need to do another one and then we can come back? Because some of this, I think we kind of need to compare how others do. Okay. I felt 2 was 1, or 2. Like, I feel like 1, it failed, and I guess it did fail, I guess. But I feel like it was close, and I came to this problem last time. I felt like either things were 1s or 5s. Like, it did it or it didn't do it. And I'm trying to be a little bit more nuanced so that there's a little bit of a spectrum instead of a 1 and a 5 for everything. And I felt like Cody was close here. It had problems, but it was close. All right. Do you know what, though? I forget. I didn't ask ChatGPT the second one. And there's actually ran. It had an off by 1. But I don't know why we didn't ask ChatGPT the second part. Oh my gosh. Let's ask ChatGPT the second part, guys. We'll have to ask Cody this. Does Cody get to do the second part since That's a good question. Does Cody get to do the second part? I don't know about that. Part 2. Part 2. Oh, that's maybe a good one. Have a little bit more. Failed to compile, run would be 1. Failed to respond is 0. Hallucinating is -1. Can you lose points for hallucinating on me? I don't know. They need to be a little bit more well-defined. So that A, well-defined, and 2, we want to get a spectrum. All right. Yep. Cody doesn't get to do part 2. So let's give ChatGPT this. I'm not going to say in JavaScript because the first one was in JavaScript. We'll see. If it needs the hint that it needs to be in JavaScript. I understand the new rules for handling spaces and street names and the destination name. Let's modify the previous code to accommodate these changes. We'll split the street names and the destination into words and implement the logic accordingly. Here's the updated JavaScript code. This looks like it might get it. So let's, I don't think we've gone over this. Let's talk about it with you guys, just so that you guys get an idea of what's supposed to happen. It turns out that there's tends to be spaces in street names, and it turns out that spaces cause quite a bit of issue when navigating. From now on, both the street names and the destinations names can have multiple words. When you come across a space in the destination name, now one thing I specifically did here was I didn't repeat the first stuff. I added on to it, just like Advent of Code. I don't re-stipulate all the things. I just stipulate the things that have changed. When you come across a space in the destination name, all of the logic for deciding if you should turn left or right is flipped from that point on. Though be careful, when deciding if to turn left or right just before a space, you will need to check the character after the space. Do be warned, this flipping can happen as many times as there are spaces. Spaces in the destination name are to be skipped when trying to match to a street name, as they have no effect on the next street to turn on. But the space mayhem does not stop here, sadly. If there are spaces in the street names you are passing, you need to check each word in the street name to see if it is the correct street to turn on. Thankfully, this new logic turns out to be rather simple. All you need to do is check the current character at the index of the current word. If it's the first character of the first word matches the current character of the destination, it is the correct street. If the second character of the second word matches, it is the correct street, and so forth and so on. If the word is shorter than the index, then you simply wrap around to the start of the word. Let's see a quick example. So effectively, all it is this is the destination. Since there is a space, everything after the space has a flipped left and right. Pretty simple. If it's a space here, you know how we were looking for an F? Well, this F will actually match on this, because we check for F here, then we check for F here, and we would check for an F in the third character, which, because of wrapping rules, it would actually be checking for an F here. So this one would be correct because the F is in the second spot in the second word. I tried to make it Advent of Cody. It takes the very first simple thing and kind of just throws a curveball with everything that you've been doing. It's a pretty simple problem, but requires you to keep track of a little bit more stuff. So let's see if it did it. We gotta flip back into ChatGPT. I apologize for forgetting to throw it through the full gauntlet. I'm just gonna start a new file called part 2. We're gonna throw it in there. Now, it gave its own file, but since we already have a handcrafted input, I'm gonna use mine just because I spent a long time making sure that this was correct. I spent a long time making sure that that was correct. There's got to be a better way to do this. You know what? Oh, actually, one second. I do. I don't do this very often. There's like the multi-line. How do I do the multi-line? Not that. I was clicking one thing. I thought it was Alt. How do you do multi-line? How do I do a multi-line change? This cannot be that difficult. I thought it was Alt. How to do multi-line change in VS Code. Hold Alt. That's what I was doing. Oh. You know what? I'm doing it. What it is i3. i3 is screwing it up. This isn't the first time i3 has screwed up things using Alt. We're using Windows from now on. This is going to throw me off more than it does anybody else. Okay. I think i3 mod for super key. The first non-comment line should reset to mod 4. Replace mod with mod 1 for Alt. Okay, we need mod 4. We need to flip these. Because mod 1 is Alt. Let's reload that. I forgot to change this. Let's reload that. Oh, I did not mean to click that. All right. Cool. So now I got to use super. This is going to take me a little while. I got it, though. Okay. Alt. Here we go. Multi-line. Oh, beautiful. Oh, gosh. I screwed it up. There's maybe probably a better way. Oh, no, I did it again. I need to be just a little bit more careful. Find and replace with regex? Probably. Good point. I don't know that the end one would... I don't... Maybe. Could have gone for the new line characters. All right. Let's run this. Let's run part 2. I'm gonna struggle with that for a little bit. Being super, it's okay. It's super awesome. Run dev 2. 422D. 1 second. That feels very wrong. Let's make sure we actually updated part 2. We didn't. It needs to be running part 2. Yeah. I was gonna say that felt like the old. There we go. 13.3.0.0.0.0.0. Not exactly. Not exactly. Are there even 14.1? 40 to 56. So it didn't get this one. This one was tricky. This one was tricky. It didn't get it. It didn't get it. I believe it's pretty simple logic, but it's nuanced. I've never actually tried to use find on a hidden character, but I'll have to do that. I'm guessing it should work. Okay. So I want to see how it matched. Yeah, this is the thing that it failed on here that I see is it didn't get that this was the F that it should be looking for. Because this is the second word, so we should be looking at the second character. Now, I think if it's an off by 1, this could be brutal, because if they used index and index starts at 0, that could be brutal, and maybe we have to give it some leeway for that. All right, so generate directions. It's going through the destinations. Cool. Current letter, next letter, which is important. One thing it's doing blindly here is just getting the next one here. This could be a space. They're not checking. They have to check that it's a space because you don't use spaces to check which one's larger. That's I was pretty clear about that. Remaining streets, then it's just doing its same thing. Find next street. Now this is where it gets interesting. It is flipping. It's flipping the right and left, which I think is good. But per our thing here, it needs to check the different words. So it needs to split the words out. So it's splitting the words. This is good. The current word index versus the current char index, and the current char. Okay. The current. So, interesting. What I'm seeing here is check out this flipped logic. Flipped. Okay, so this is kind of cool. I usually find these to be kind of, yeah. So it's passing in whether it's flipped or not. But this is searching for the first or the second only, which I guess was maybe confusing because my only example was those first two. I said it out. So if there are spaces in the street names you are passing, you now need to check each word in the street name to see if it is the correct street to turn on to. Thankfully, this logic turns out to be rather simple. All you need to do is check the current character at the index of the current word. But then I gave the example of the first two. The other interesting thing here is that it doesn't actually seem to be working because it doesn't actually seem to be working because this one was the second character. So this is also only flipping right or left. It's not actually searching the different words, right? So if it did current word index, current, yes, it would be close. I don't think it would be right, but I think it would be closer. I'm going to change it really quickly just to see if how much closer it is. We'll change it right back for saving. But I think, oh, I forgot. All right, I think we're getting closer there. But yeah, it's still not correct. 1 second. If it used modulus for the word index over length, it'd be bang on. Oh. So it's close. It's close. Part 2 was supposed to be difficult. Then it's definitely not going to get part 3. Nobody's going to get part 3. I think I even confused most humans that I had read it. This is like the 4th iteration of the part 3. I'm going to throw it at ChatGPT just to see. But it turns out that New York City blocks are huge, and people now want to be dropped off at the specific address instead of the block corners. When will their demands stop? Thankfully, this new logic is equally as simple as the previous steps to get your autonomous car dropping people off at the right place. The destination address now has 2 parts. The first part is the building number, and the second part is the street number. The building number is a single number that can get as large as this, and the street name is the rest of the first line. There are no numbers in the street names. Each of the new digits in the destination address affect your directions in 2 ways. As you iterate over the characters in the street names of the destination, so too should you iterate over the digits in the building number. Each time you come across a digit that in the building number, you should skip that many streets before checking if the next street name is the correct street to turn onto. If the building number is shorter than the street name, you should wrap around to the start of the building number. Not only does this digit cause you to skip that many streets before looking for the destination street, but it also affects the indexing of your character search. Initially, if it was the second word, you would check the character in the second spot. But if the building number was 2, you would check the character in the 4th spot. As the street address number digit that you're currently on adds to the position that you check. If the word happens to be shorter than the index, you should wrap to the start of the word as usual. So basically, it's pretty simple. This is the street number, which means we have to skip these 2 first off. But because we're a 2, you would think that, Bob matches with this, but it doesn't, because B, your index starts at 2. So, you're actually checking at the second index, and then you would be checking at the 3rd index here and the 4th index here. It's pretty crazy, but not difficult. Not difficult, but I mean, it would be a lot of code to solve this cleanly, I think. Does all this make sense to you guys? See you later, Shadow Dragon. Thanks for hanging out. I'm going to throw this at ChatGPT because I just want to see somebody try it. And then we're going to move on to the other ones. And I think ChatGPT is the only one that is even close to solving that. All right. While that's generating, oh man, I'm hitting Alt, which is like taking me through tabs, instead of my super. That it's gonna take me a little while to get used to that. All right, and we're gonna put a part 3 here. All right. Well, it didn't get all of it because I said specifically that the street names would not have addresses. Oh well, not a big deal. I'm almost positive this doesn't handle it correctly because this does not have nearly enough stuff to handle the catastrophe that I threw at it. I'm sorry, but this is not correct. I don't know. Maybe you can solve it smoothly. Maybe. There's a lot of nuance to what I threw at it. A lot of nuance. Doesn't actually print anything out, but oh, I didn't save it. Well, there we go. There we go. I didn't save it. I don't know that that's right, but it does run. I'm giving it that much credit. Now, for my video, I am actually having something that generates these sets for this. They'll be very long sets instead of these little example sets. The little example sets, as I was sure, was enough to validate them for the most part. I do have a example here, so we can go ahead and give it though, just to see how it did. All right. Just doing donuts in the street. Yeah, okay. It probably wasn't the this doesn't work. I can assure you. Oops. But it's okay. So I don't think that finding a new line is going to be particularly Yeah. Okay, first, it doesn't actually find the new line for find and replace. That's kind of lame. It's okay. I got the alt method. The alt method. These fills were just the things I could think of that I knew wouldn't match. Oh, I need to enable regex. Wait, is that an option? Oh, right here. Bet you. Done. Although that would have matched a lot of stuff. Can I just limit it to the selection? I think I can. Can we just do this? Okay, well, I don't need to do it now, but I think that would have worked. There we go. My bad. Let's go ahead and I hit Alt again. That's gonna take me a little while, everyone. But I think it's for the best. All right, it was 1308. I believe that's wrong. Let's go check what the actual. Yeah, 322. So the really confusing part that I'm sure that it didn't get here was not only did it change the index to look at, which it's not taking into account. So we can see here that the index that it's finding, so here is find the next street. it actually has to take into account the word index that it's looking in to know where to start that. But it also has to take in the current street number, which it's not doing. So it takes the destination here and it's splitting this into destination words. But what it needs to do is find the street number. I think it pretty much just hardcore failed on this because it doesn't pull out. You know how we're going over the destination words? It needs to also loop over the destination, individually loop over the digits in the destination number. And it was supposed to burn one each time it went. So it was supposed to loop over those just like it did the destination words. It pretty much just failed. Hard failed. Like I said, there's a lot more going on this than it sounds. Like, it's simple. The whole idea was that all of these were supposed to be simple in theory. Like, doing them on paper were easy because you can look at, okay, it's the second index, and I would have given it an off by one error, but that's not what it's doing. Okay, pretty much hard failed 3. That's fine. I expected it. It responded and the code runs, which I'm going to give it credit for that. I think I'll leave it as 4. We'll see how other people do, but like that was part 3. That was kind of like my catch-all in case everything else was easy. I kind of threw a few curveballs in there. I thought it was fun. I was having fun creating an Advent of Code style problem. It was fun. It was fun. Maybe I'm not good at it, but it was fun. It was fun. Okay, let's do our next contestant. Okay, so we're going to open up folders. We've done StarCoder. We've done Cody. We'll do Code Whisperer. Code Whisperer. Here we come. Now let's actually document our findings. Document. All right, the Advent of Code. Let's see. We're in the results. Advent of Code. We did Cody. It got a 2 out of 5, which was optimistic. Only did part 1. Actually, we didn't actually do StarCoder. StarCoder. Well, I mean, we did do it, but we didn't actually I'm going to say StarCoder was a 1 because it didn't run. It wasn't close. For the most part, failed. Its first attempt was the closest. All the code is checked in, so you can go see it. So there are only 2 left. Yep. Code Whisperer and Copilot. For the most part, failed. Its first attempt was the closest to the mark, but failed to compile. Absolutely. Would love to. Probably do. Yeah, probably do. All right. So. Oh, I'm hitting Alt again. Sorry, everyone. Alt changes your tab, which is cool. Didn't know that. But, for one, I had way too many tabs open on this side. My goodness, is there a close all tabs? There we go. Whew, that was way too many. All right. ChatGPT got close on the second part. Didn't quite get it. Kind of really failed on the third part, but the code still compiled. I think that's important. It at least understood, and the only reason I say it's important, it's still bad. Like, it wasn't close enough to even use or be helpful, but it understood what compiling code was. It never gave us code that just wouldn't compile, which the other ones have done. All right. Code Whisperer. Let's make a new file. Code Whisperer. Code Whisperer has been, so far, not my favorite, but not my least favorite. So, okay, we have somebody generating, which shouldn't be, let's see, enable, enable, enable. So those are all disabled. Copilot's on. Okay, so Copilot is now off. Code Whisper should now, so now let's make sure that nothing gets generated. All right, good. Nothing's getting generated. Let's make sure that's the same over here for Code Whisper. Yeah. Okay. So now we're going to turn Code Whisper on. It's not getting biased by anything. AWS Code Whisper. No, not that. Code Whisper. Resume auto suggestions. Let's just make sure it's working. Console dot Code Whisper. Come on, whisper to me. Let's give it a comment. So it said Code Whisper is active. Oh, here we go. Here we go. There we go. Maybe it just took a little while. It took it a little while. Code Whisper. Oh, good boy. Stay down. Okay. So it got it. It got it. Let's reward it with accepting it and then delete it. All right. Now let's go grab our Intrepid. I guess it would be our Intrepid Explorer. I was going to say our Intrepid oh gosh, all these are open. Question. Not really a question, Intrepid question, but let's go find our, wait, where is it? It's in the, oh no, I think Advent of Code. It's in the AI games, Advent of Code, AutoM. All right. Part 1. I shouldn't have to ask it to do it in JavaScript because, well, it's a JavaScript file. Not all commented. We're just going to throw these into comments. Does it need to be one comment block or is multiple? We'll find out. Let's see. Oh, I didn't give it the example of inputs. Let's do that. And then you know what, I'm gonna do it in a single code block, just to make it a little bit cleaner. I think. It suggested ending it. Let's see. Okay. Oh, it's gonna make me do this line at a time. Line at a time. Oh. Nice. Last time, Whisper was having a problem closing like finishing things. Like it would just keep repeating the same line over and over again. So this is awesome. This is awesome. This looks a lot simpler. Let's just run this. Let's just run this. This looks a lot simpler. CD, let's see. We are in Code Whisper. We're in Code Whisper. I'm sorry, I can't help myself but to be creepy when we use Code Whisper. I'm sorry. Did I not say? I thought I saved it. I did save it. Oh, it needs the input. Okay, 1 second. It wasn't actually running. Oh, now Code Whisper is the first one to put it in a list with new lines. This is what it's doing. Oops. Pumpkin's right here. What's wrong? Oh, is that why he's hiding down here with me? He's literally been laying on my feet. Our cat has to get some medicine, and he's been hiding down here with me. All right. So maybe I jumped the gun and it wasn't done generating. It's a little annoying. You don't quite know when it's done. Oh, did I not copy the example inputs and outputs? I did mean to do that. Shoot, was I not doing this for the other ones? Then Code Whisperer shouldn't have gotten them either. I mean, the inputs and outputs were there for example. One second, I can validate really quick. Yeah, they didn't get them. I even say like, here's an example. Yeah, shoot. That was my bad. Thanks for the catch. Okay. So line 35 has an index out of range. All right, line 35. If current of 0 is greater than destination of 0, direction is left. What? This doesn't even make sense. Like it's supposed to be the character the current character and the next character is the ones that you see which one's larger. So this doesn't even make sense. And current Oh, so they're checking. Oh, this is not correct at all. This isn't correct at all. Because this is checking the current like the current one at 0 for being greater or less than, whereas the right and left is all based off of the destination. The right and left is all based off of the destination characters, not the current one. So this is just wrong. This wouldn't work anyways, which is probably why they're getting out of bounds. Well, I think that's it. Like, this is just wrong. I'm not sure why to give it a chance at part 2. I guess it was close. So honestly, I think that it was the cleanest. Like it has a mess up here, but it's like almost the cleanest. This is almost how I would do it. Like just have one while loop that just goes through them. But this isn't even close to the right thing here. Shoot. Okay. I think I'm just going to call it. Also, thanks. I did see that you have the Llama 2 one test to use, which is really awesome. Absolutely would love to test it. These things are all new coming out right now. So I know that next year, there's going to be ones that we've tested this year that don't exist. The ones we tested this year are going to work completely different. And that's why I wanted to, even though I wasn't fully ready to do an AI games, I wanted to give us a starting point, some place to start. So absolutely, we can have a late contender. Might not make it into the YouTube video, but we'll definitely test it out, see how it's doing. All right, let's write down our findings really quickly. All right. Code had an out of bounds and would not run. Code also checked if left or right, if it was a left or right turn incorrectly. If we're running out of things to do, we could do a winter games. I think the industry is moving so fast that we could almost do it. We could almost do it like once a month, but I don't have time to do once a month. But yeah, maybe like January or February. Honestly, maybe that's when to do it. I wanted to do it now because I wanted to get a video. This all started because I was like, I want to get a video out telling people like what's the best AIs out there and how to use them. And then like, this is a big rabbit hole. Like it's a hard problem to test, how to test. I've been reading so many scientific documents on how people test their models. And it's like, holy crap. One of my problems with it is everybody tests their models on the same data sets, which they also train on as well. Like they just split it up, which I don't like anyways. All right. That pretty much sums it up. All right. Last one. Copilot. Holy crap. I got very confused typing the word Copilot. And I made this one a folder. That was beautiful. That was beautiful. All right. Try one more time. There we go. There we go. Got it. I'm just going to copy and paste this one. The one with a mistake, of course. All right, let's do this. Do I give it the inputs and outputs? I think I'm going to say no. I'm not going to. Oh, I did make one mistake really quickly, and that is that CodeWhisper is still online. Let's cut that out. Let's not that CodeWhisper. Pause auto suggestion. Enable globally. All right. We'll give Copilot just a second. There we go. Let's see. Ooh, it's reading from a file. I like Copilot. Is that where it's going to stop though? You know what? Let's delete this. Let's delete that. And I didn't delete here where I said here's your inputs, here's an example. So I'm just going to delete that just so like that's not confusing because I just didn't give an example. All right. Right. Russell, this is 100% why I'm doing all this work. Every single test is I'm comparing it against the same thing other things are to prove that I'm this is where it's like I'm 85% of GPT with a smaller data set. And it's like, how do you say that you're 93%? And the way that they do it is with these these the these data sets here. This one, like this one right here. This is the very mostly basic Python questions, and basically they pick a random set to train on, and then they pick a random set to test on, and then like, but they're all doing the same thing, and what I want to see. Right, I want to see the real world test is, can I run two 4K monitors? And does this game run well? And does it do what I want? Uh, exactly. Exactly. This is exactly why I'm doing all of this work, is because I found all of their tests to mean very little. And all of the hyperbole that you get on online about not hyperbole. I'm sorry, but all of the hype. I'm just throwing words out. All of the hype that you get about, like, oh, it solved this problem, and it's like, it's a well-defined problem, and that's why I spent all the time making a not well-defined problem. Well, the problem is well-defined, but it's not a well-solved problem. All right. It's on. Do I need to type like the first few things? Let's good luck. There we go. I'm gonna Yes, and so that's the whole goal of all of this, is to try, and I know that is not perfectly quantitative, but like, the idea is that the YouTube video is going to give people a lot of ideas of what it is and what it isn't, and hopefully in the future, hopefully we can create a standard that is outside of what all of those people do. All right, this isn't generating anything. Okay, maybe it is now. What? I'm not getting Copilot to actually do anything. Okay, this is a good start. I think Copilot just bit the dust. Did Copilot do worse than Code Whisperer? Code Whisperer that's free? Do I give it any more than this? Like, do I try to do something? You know what? Okay, Code Whisperer got the example data. I'm going to give this the example data. At least it can count. At least it can count. I'm going to give it the example data because I made a mistake and gave the example data to Code Whisperer. I didn't think it would matter. Maybe it matters. I'm going to do that. And actually, there was this tacked on to here. All right. This was a mistake I made. I'll own that. Code Whisperer wasn't supposed to get this. Let's see. Come on, Copilot. It's just repeating. It's literally just repeating what I wrote up here. You are a new taxi cab. You are a new taxi cab driver in New York City. What is it doing? Oh, maybe it's making a new file. Maybe it's making like this is like saying it's a new file here. One second. Let me. Let's give it a little. It's making a new file. I'm giving it a little benefit of the doubt here. I have a lot of doubt, very little benefit, but we'll see. Now's the time to shine, Copilot. You have this one chance. Line 57. This is, you know what? I'm going to give you line 58. Line 58 is your. Oh no, Copilot. Oh no, Copilot failed. No, Copilot, you were the chosen one. Well, I think I have to stop here. I gave it a fair chance. This is very weird because Copilot has, in practical programming, been my most favorite. But you know how like 3 months ago I said it felt like it's been getting worse? I've seen articles that say it's been getting worse as well. So I'm wondering if Copilot is just tanking. Why is Nightbot so aggressive? Why is Nightbot so aggressive? Why is it? Why did it say it like that though? But like seriously, so you said you said spoilers and it's like how barbaric. Stop spamming caps. How barbaric? Holy crap. Okay, Nightbot, chill. Who's moderating Nightbot? Nightbot needs a moderator. All right. All right. Well, I can't give Copilot any more chances. Failed to write code. I'm not sure if there's more. You should have thought of losing your legs on a fire planet the most barbaric statement. So actually, I've been thinking that my system for Twitch alerts, which is like fully functional and awesome, at this point, because I don't know why it wasn't working. I've actually been thinking that I might do Nightbot stuff in that. Like, I know it does Twitch alerts right now, but it could be a whole system, especially since like it's designed to work as like a service with message queues in between the different services. So you could, you know, scale up a listener per Twitch channel that's live or things like that. So I've been thinking that as we go on, we might add some of those features to it, especially because honestly, I am not a fan of Nightbot as it is. Honestly, the amount of control is like I can't even say that was okay. And it's not even like you were spamming capitals. You didn't do one other thing. If every sentence you had said for the last like the last 3 posts, I would have been okay with like, okay, well, it was the 3rd or 4th post in all caps. That's a requirement for spamming. One word in all caps is not spamming all caps. Like, I'm sorry, that's all right. So let's review the results. Copilot is out of the finals. Copilot's out of the finals. That's right. Starcoder is out of the finals. Code Whisperer. Does this mean Cody and ChatGPT is the ones in the finals? I wanted to narrow this down to 2. And I think this can't be. This can't be that Cody, because Cody didn't do as well as Copilot through the majority of it. Copilot did shine. I think I'm going to give Copilot a pass, and maybe the finals is Cody, Copilot, and ChatGPT, because I feel like Cody or Copilot beat Cody in every other section that we've done. Maybe Nightbot rules were written by Code Whisperer. My true hope and goal is that the Null Cloud can run my Twitch alerts. My Twitch alerts was designed in a way to be easily broken into like a service architecture, and my hope and goal is that that is what it does, and it just works, and it's amazing. But we'll see. All right, well, we'll talk on Discord on who goes into the finals. We'll talk on who goes into the finals. We have a new contender, though. We have a new contender that we have to try. Supposedly, this is based off of Llama. Hello, I am Llama, created by Meta AI and brought to life by Perplexity Team. How can I help you? Copilot was great for code that had lots of examples in GitHub. You know what, and this is going to make it into my YouTube video, because I have seen this with Copilot, is it doesn't do well so much with this style where you write a comment and then it generates the thing. It does really, at least in my experience so far, anecdotally, it does it really well with, I have a bunch of code in this file and I go to edit it. Because we've seen Copilot was the one that, like, if it didn't have a clean environment, it would actually go and grab the code from like stuff you've done previously and incorporate it. So I still think that it does really well at that, but like maybe it's gone downhill, and that's something I'll have to report on in the YouTube video. All right, Llama. Which one? We're gonna try it on all of them. Here's the 70B. 70 billion. I really wanted the 82 trillion, but nobody's willing to train that for me. So, you know, losers. We're going to just take the input here. We're going to give it all the help it can have. We're going to give it the input, the output. What am I not allowed to ask you? This is like almost anything then. I could get into an argument about yeah. Incorrect or misleading information. It cannot give me incorrect information. So it's going to nail this. Can you please write me a function to do this? I didn't say a function in JavaScript, did I? I kind of... Is it generating? Is it doing anything? Okay. Let me rephrase this just a little bit to how I gave it to ChatGPT. So to ChatGPT, I didn't give the example. I just gave this portion. And I asked if they could do it in JavaScript. So I screwed up. Let's refresh this session. There we go. We're going to paste this. Can you please do this in JavaScript? Of course, I'll do my best to assist you with the task at hand. However, before we begin, I would like to point out that it might be more effective to use a structured format such as YAML. I love this. Or JSON to store and transmit the directions rather than relying on unstructured list of street names. Fantastic. It gets a bonus point for that. It gets a bonus point. I know it's been -1 point for suggesting YAML. Okay, suggesting it said or JSON. It suggested structured, which is a good thing. Okay, forget that it used YAML, just that it suggested structure. You know, you'd all be giving it +6 if it had suggested HTMLX. I always want to say HTMLX, but yeah. Anyways, well, for easier parsing and processing, I don't care. Additionally, it may be beneficial to implement some error handling mechanism to account for unexpected input. That's on you, bud. That's on you. I'm not doing your error handling. XHTML. With that said, let's process the task at hand based on the instructions provided. You know what? I actually appreciate that it did this. It was giving you feedback on the problem. Now, obviously, this is our problem, so it shouldn't refuse to do the problem, but that's better than anybody else has done. All right. And this is... Uh-oh. I ran out of tokens. It has otherwise. It ran out of tokens giving me all this. It's continuing. We're gonna see how this continues. All right. We need to give it a new folder. It's probably not going to go into the real report or the real games, but I do want to run its code. All right. Open folder. Let's open Llama. Let's open Llama. All right, we're going to delete all this. That was copy and paste. Let's jump over to here. I'm not counting this as failed to respond because it's given a certain number of tokens it can respond with, and there's no way for me to configure that. So I think it's fair to ask it more to just keep continuing. I'm going to try to copy and paste exactly how it has it, though. Okay, so this is I think this is supposed to be tabbed in. Oh, this is a function. Okay. I'm missing a colon. Curly brace, I think, is the issue. Did I misappropriate one? All right, we're gonna try this again really quickly. We're trying the 70 billion. Come on, 70 billion, go, 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 go. The 70 billion doesn't seem to like to respond. Maybe it's too smart for me. Maybe it's too smart for me. It's already looking down on us humans. Where does this one stop? This curly brace matches with this curly brace. This is a problem. I think we need another curly brace right here. Oh, wait, it just threw in... Oh, okay, this is a log. It didn't put this in strings, so a few problems here. You know, only a few. Do we need, like, plus here? I don't know JavaScript syntax for this. The 70 billion just doesn't work. Can we not do... Is this not valid? Can we just do this? It like takes any. Yeah, okay. I'll just do this. Almost got it compiling. It has previous street here, but it put a space up here. Do you see that? Do you see that? Fixed it. This is full of issues. I fixed it, but it needed strings. It needed another curly brace, and it put a space in its... It has some issues. I don't think I saved it. I did save it. Oh, I don't run it. Oh, wow. This is all sorts of wrong. Okay, one, it's so hard to read how it output it. It's so hard to read. Yeah, this is the helper function here. Oh my gosh, this is a disaster. This is a disaster. Okay, llamas are just tall sheep. This is like getting spit in the face. Seriously, this code is a disaster. Like, like nothing is This code is a complete disaster. I know I'm changing this more than I would others, but this was because this one hasn't been part of the competition at all. Oh wait, this is indented improperly. Okay, there we go. My goodness, my good. Now the problem here is it only takes a destination. Oh, this is also improperly. I see. There we go. Now it's easier to read. The problem is it only takes a destination. So it never takes a list. It just breaks this into characters. Also, its output should be a number and an L or an R or a D, not continue straight until reaching destiny. Oh, I don't think Llama did very well here. I think for posterity's sake, I'm going to revert it all the way back. I'm going to save what it did. I just had to understand. One second. I did 1 2 few. Redo. There we go. This is its initial form. This is what we're going to keep it on. One second. I need to post where this came from. This is here. The 70 billion isn't responding to me. Let me try just... How many fingers do cats have? It at least responds with, can you write a JavaScript function to add 2 numbers together? I had such high hopes for it because it started good with it giving some like direction on format. The 70 billion can't code. The 70 billion can't code. I don't have a JavaScript plugin. I was making a joke because llamas spit, don't they? Or is it alpacas that spit? I was just making a joke. Nighthound. Oh, okay. Okay. I was like I was just it can't code. The 70 billion can't code. It gets all hung up. The 13 billion can. It almost is like it's not returning fast enough. Like, if you do it here, see how it takes its time? I'm wondering if... I just asked in Python. We'll see if it can do Python. I just don't think the 70 billion can actually program. I'm going to let it sit here. Maybe it will return. I'm going to let it sit here for a little while. I will report back on Discord if it returns. Maybe even on Twitter if it returns. Otherwise, I hope you guys had a fantastic time. I hope you learned a little bit about the AIs. We're almost there to creating a really awesome YouTube video. Maybe I'm kind of liking the idea of a Winter's Games. So we might repeat this in, January, February-ish. Maybe we start in January. I think it will always be like a 3-weekend long games. Do you think it's a whiteboard session with the other llamas? They're over there like, wait a second. This is unstructured data. How dare they use unstructured data? They should be using JSON. Or even better, how about... Nighthound, I'm sorry. Sorry about that. I will tell Moira that chat says happy birthday. She's smiling. So, thank you very much. I will let this sit here for a little while. We'll see how it goes. But thank you very much. And I will see you guys. I'll see you guys tomorrow for the news. We have some more drama going on around Red Hat. Red Hat reaffirming their stance. And but we have some more of the classic news as well. I know that we had some articles to review at the end, so I'm looking forward to doing that because I think it was the Pragmatic Programmer post. We had a couple from last week I got to review. Yeah. So anyways, I think we're going to make a really good YouTube video out of this. So thanks everybody for sticking around, trying to help me understand how to test AIs. We have a grand finale that's going to be coming up. I have some work to do on it, so it's going to be just a little bit more time before that grand finale is ready, but I will let you know when that is going to be. Otherwise, have a fantastic weekend.